Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the second commentary video on this channel. Um, what do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about what I did for Christmas. Yeah, for Christmas. I was gonna say Christmas Eve, but that would have been wrong because I've been 2 days ago instead of yesterday. Kind of tripping today. I don't know. Again, recording this in the morning. I don't know why I love doing them in the morning. They're just a lot better. It's nice and quiet. There's nobody walking about, really. I don't know, I just really like the morning. Oh, is this a game where... Okay, yeah, I know this game. This is a game where I do parkour civilization. It's gonna be really funny. Okay, if you remember from last commentary video, I said that my family doesn't really do Christmas like that, and I kind of meant it, right? Like, most people will do presents, Christmas tree, all the works. They'll decorate, they might do a party, like all that, right? Invite friends over, whatever. My family, or like my main family, like not extended, will usually do like just a dinner, like a family dinner with extended family, and like that's it. And then like maybe we might get some money, or like I'll just like ask my dad for something, and that's what he'll get me, right? Like nothing too serious. We don't do like wrapping or anything. No decorations, nothing like that. But it's like fine because I don't really care that much for Christmas. So that's... Yo, wait, that was a clean Fruitberries bridge. What? So that's how it'll usually go. And this Christmas, so we went to a buffet, right? That's pretty standard. Oh, lagging out. Pretty standard for a Christmas in my family. So we go to the buffet, we all eat whatever, all right, and we go back to my aunt's house. And what we do is... Oh, that guy didn't ghost me. That's nice. That's a chill guy right there. So we go back to my aunt's house and we chill there for a while after we eat all of our food. I ate so much, bro. Actually, I didn't eat much. I ate like 2 plates and a dessert. Or was it 3? No, it's 2 plates, I think. So it wasn't that much. I should have ate more, but I was getting full and I didn't want to feel like super bloated. Kind of yapping. So we go to my aunt's house and then we chill there for like an hour or so. And then we all are like, yo, let's go to the park. So we go to the park, right? There's a super scenic park. If you guys have ever been there, which I doubt because it's in somewhere in Georgia. I don't want to say, but it's like this really nice bridge. And because we went like somewhere close to the nighttime. It wasn't really night, but like in winter it's night. Like it's at 6 p.m. basically, or 5 p.m. It was somewhere in that time. And it was like sunset kind of vibe, right? And it was like super sick because the lights were on. I wanted to go to the trail in the forest, but it was too dark for that, so we couldn't do that, unfortunately. So we walked around. We didn't like play or anything, but I thought it was like super nice because like it was just a nice change of pace from a super loud and busy buffet and like the bustling Christmas times that usually entail Christmas and Christmas Eve, where everybody's super busy and it's like fireplace and all that. So it was nice and relaxing just to like to walk around the park with my family, because we're really just like vibing out, like. And then we went back to the car, right? Because we didn't like park at the park. Oh, that's kind of weird. Is there like the same word? We didn't park at the park. We parked like a couple blocks away from the park. So we had to walk all the way back to our car, which is like whatever. But because we had like, I think it was 11 people, we were using 2 smaller cars, where like 2 5-seater cars. And I was the unfortunate victim, or I was one of the 4 unfortunate victims that had to cram in the back seats with 3 other people. So there's 4 people in a 3-seater back car, which is like, if you've ever done that, you know how that feels. Like it's super cramped, like pretty much 0 legroom, and people in the middle seats, it's usually the worst because you have the raised seat. It's even worse if you're taller or like average height for that matter, if you're average height or taller, then it's super bad being in the middle seat because it's like raised a little bit, like most cars. And then you just like, it's so hard to do anything, or it's so hard to move. And then what's even worse is that like in the car rides, like all of the car rides basically, where we were cramped in, I was like stuck a little, I was like kind of stuck, and my back was hurting a lot because I was just in this super uncomfortable position where I was like a little bit, like one of my butt cheeks, okay, that sounds kind of weird, but one of my butt cheeks was like a little bit on one side of like the side seats where it's like lower down and wider. It was halfway on that wide seat and halfway on the middle seat, which is more raised. So I was at like two separate elevations with both my legs, and it was just super strange. And then because the car was like small too, my head was like, I had to watch my head because it could touch the ceiling of the car without me realizing it. It was just super annoying because I like, if it touches the head, like it just feels weird, right? Because you usually don't want that, obviously. It's like having a 2-block roof in Minecraft versus a 3-block roof. It's just so strange. And then also, because it was like, okay, it wasn't super freezing cold, but for my standards, it was pretty cold outside, right? Even though I was wearing a hoodie, I was wearing shorts, which was like kind of a bad idea, but I thought we were just going to the buffet when we were on our way over to the buffet, because like my family doesn't really like make plans like that, or at least they do, but I don't know about them till like a day before, which is fine because usually I don't have anything to do that day. And if it is, then I'll usually just either miss the thing that I was supposed to do and plan before because I value family more, or I'll go to that thing and miss the family meeting, especially if it's like a doctor's appointment, which is like super important. So that's usually how it goes. And so it's like semi-cold. It's like, I think 40 Fahrenheit. Which I don't know what that is in Celsius. It's like a little bit above freezing. I know that. So it's like, so it's that, right? So it's 40 Fahrenheit. And it's kind of cold. Especially for me though, because I feel like I'm basically freezing. Like my hands, or my fingers were turning red and white at the same time. Like if I put my hand on your neck, you would feel like there's multiple ice cubes. Like that's how cold it was. So when we got crammed back into the car, after being out in the cold for like 10-15 minutes, like walking around the park, after we crammed inside the car, like because there's so many people in the back, there's a lot of body heat, right? And because it's a car, it's trapped, and then also the heat was on. So I was just like, everybody was getting rapidly heated up, and it was like a super uncomfortable experience because like that basically makes me not burst out, but like makes it go into a cold sweat. Which if you've ever had one of those or knows what it feels like, or know what it feels, I don't know. My grammar's really bad. If you know what that feels like, then you're gonna be like, that's like super uncomfortable because cold sweats, like, oh my god. It's like I had to go in the car like 3 times, like crammed, or 4 times, and it was like I was sweating every single time. So I feel like I had to go on I felt like I felt like I needed deodorant every single time I went in the car. So then after we got in the car, and then we drove to karaoke for my first time ever. That was my, like, I've never gone to karaoke before then, and honestly it was kind of like the experience I kind of expected, because like there was disco ball lights, there was flashing lights. Everybody's eyes were hurting after that because it just kept flashing lights, and it's really annoying, but it was also cool at the same time, so I don't really care. So there are tons of lights. There was a lot of songs. Like there were 2 entire books full of songs, where it's like 1,000-page textbooks. And it's like, wow, that's a lot of songs, right? But then you realize there's like songs separated into Korean and Japanese, which is like, that's fine because I listen to Korean Japanese songs too. But what was really annoying is that I couldn't find any of the Japanese songs I wanted because the karaoke machine, like, you could type, like, okay, so they give you like this like keyboard, but it's not really a keyboard. It has like all these buttons for controlling the karaoke machine, kind of like a remote and a keyboard at the same time. It was like a square where it had different modes for switching between different languages, right? And different kinds of pop. Like there was global pop, Indonesian pop, there was Vietnamese pop, like that, like there was Japanese pop, there was Korean pop, like that, right? All that. But when it, like, okay, usually you would just use a keyboard to type. You would just use the keyboard they gave you to type on all of them, right? Actually, no, I haven't tried the. I didn't try the other languages besides Korean and Japanese and English, because none of us really listen to music outside of that. So we were listening to Korean, Japanese, and English. But what was really annoying is that all the songs that were in Japanese, we couldn't type in it because there wasn't keyboard, like, it wasn't on the keyboard. So we didn't know how to type it in like actual Japanese. So we had to use the English names. And then I looked in the freaking, the giant 1,000-page textbooks that they gave us to find some songs I needed. I searched through like 10-15 songs and none of them were on there. And no, they weren't all Japanese, and no, they weren't all Korean. Some of them were English, but some of them were like obviously less well known than others. Like obviously they had the songs that had hundreds of millions of listens to it and stuff on Spotify, but they didn't have the songs I wanted. Like for example, Curses by the Crane Wives, which I know the song from a Last Life animatic, I think is how I know that song. I wanted to listen to, or I wanted to sing that one, but unfortunately they didn't have it, which is like fine. But I also wanted to sing Racing into the Night by YOASOBI, which they also didn't have for some reason, from what I could find. Because in the books, there were like they separated all the songs into Korean, or sorry, it goes from English to Korean and Japanese as different sections, like different alphabets. So I was looking in under the English, Korean, and Japanese section. Like I looked through all of them, and I couldn't find Racing into the Night by YOASOBI, which is like kind of strange because YOASOBI is like one of the biggest Japanese pop, J-pop creators, I think, from what I know, because like they created the Idol opening, they created Racing into the Night, which is one of the more well-known songs. They created like a ton of like well-known songs, right? Like if you know J-pop, then you obviously you will know YOASOBI. Like that's just how it is. So I couldn't find that song for some reason. I don't know why it wasn't there, but it was also like the search filter by the karaoke. Okay, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So I couldn't find the songs I wanted. I listened, but instead I decided to listen for Die For You by The Weeknd, which was, I think it was pretty cool. I thought it would be a lot easier to sing, but it turns out it wasn't, because I had to like fucking not scream, but like kind of yell into the mic, which I'm not fucking used to doing. Like you don't yell into the mic when you sing, right? Or you don't yell when you're trying to sing normally. So my voice was like kind of cracking up, and I thought it performed better than I expected, but I performed worse than I expected. And I also felt like I was speaking too quiet, but that's probably because they had a feature where you couldn't easily hear yourself through the mic, because it'd be kind of weird if you heard yourself singing while you're singing, or it's just like a brain thing, I don't know. Like you talk and then you can't hear yourself talk, like I don't know what I'm yapping about. So I couldn't listen to any of the songs I really wanted to listen to, so I settled for a more popular song, and then my fucking voice was like hurting afterwards. It's fine, I only sang one song, but it's okay, because I thought it was a fun experience, especially for a first time experience. I was getting super nervous around the time I was singing, because I mean, I justified trying to say not nervous, that way to say it? Like justified trying to not get nervous by thinking, oh, it's just with family, like they won't judge me that much if I sing bad, because I know there's some other bad singers in my family, which I'm not gonna call names for. So there was that, and then after karaoke, we didn't buy any food. But after karaoke, they gave us like these not sugar, like this yogurt and a like probiotic thing, and then we went back to my aunt's house, and then we went back, and then after we hung out at my aunt's house for a while, we went back to it's ending. No, we went back to my uncle's house. We hung out there, and then we went home, and that's it. I'll see you guys later. Peace.